Hey, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome to the channel Ascend With Me Tarot. My name is Dawn. I'm here to do a collective general reading. Now, let me fix this camera a little bit. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. I did a personal reading. I'm not going to mention names, and please don't be offended if you catch this video because I'm not mentioning names or anything. But I did a personal reading for a friend of mine that I've known for a while, actually. And Spirit's got me in this energy of healing. Okay. Um, I can't help the messages that come up, and you're not always going to receive what you want to hear. Okay, and sometimes the messages will come through and you may be confused about the messages because it's not what you want to hear at the time. But if you keep an open heart and an open mind and come back to these messages later on, a lot of it may make sense to you down the road. So if you're resonating with some of the energies of these readings, but it doesn't make complete sense, but this part does, but that part don't, and you're not ready to hear this message or that message, save the message and come back to it at a later date because you will gain different insight. My goal with my gifts is always to bring awareness and healing. Spirit, for some reason, allows me to see kind of the pain in hearts of people. I touch that spot that a lot of us try to just kind of not focus on and just kind of bypass, the pains and the hurts and the things from our past. I look in the closet of your heart and I see your past, is what Spirit is teaching me. I don't do it on purpose, y'all. I can't control the messages that come up. I can't control how they come up. I can't control what Spirit allows me to see, and I sure can't control the advice that they give me to give. Okay, I just speak. I'm a conduit. I'm a channel. Okay, with that being said, I want you to know that I always come from a place of love. And I would love to be able to give you guys these answers of, yes, it's going to be rainbows and sunshine, and you're going to get all your dreams come true. And it's, and that is the goal, that we all get exactly what we deserve, which is the best of everything. But it's a process, and we have to be responsible and go through the process of healing in order to get to the reward. Okay? So anyways, my point is, I don't know why I'm just putting that out there for my collective. So if you're following my channel, I love you guys. My goal is to bring truth and clarity to certain situations, but my ultimate goal is healing and truth, and for us all to be able to look behind the veil of our own hearts and just face the fears that we hide from, and the pain that we try to bypass, because without facing those things, then there is no growth, there's no overcoming, there's no healing. So that's the point of it all, honestly. Okay, so today we're going to focus on collective energy, and I want to pull a healing message forward for whoever may need it. Okay, I'm just going to pull what Spirit gives me and give it to you just exactly how I receive it. So only take it if it resonates. Only take what resonates. If some of the message resonates, and some of it doesn't, take what resonates. And what doesn't resonate, save it for later, because it'll probably make sense later after you've had a little bit more experience on your journey. It's always worth going back and looking at these things again, and you'll get more clarity later on. I mean, it happens all the time, especially with the readings I give, Spirit tells me. People always come back to me later and tell me this. Okay? But anyways, so let's get started. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Okay? If you'd like to, I'd love for you to support my channel and my healing mission here. I love you so very much, Soul Tribe. I just want you to know that. And we're on this journey together. We're all on this journey together. Okay? And so I just want you to know I'm with you. I'm going to ground myself. I know it's already almost 5 minutes into the video, but thanks for sticking around if you did. Listening to my little pre-message there. All right. So we're going to try to focus on a message that the collective needs to hear the most right now. Possibly. What do you want to talk about, Father? I'm just going to open myself up to bring whatever message needs to come forward for whoever may need a message today. Father God, Holy Spirit, what is the message that you have for my collective today? Archangel Michael, please put a white light of divine protection around myself, this reading, and my tribe. Archangel Raphael, please clear our heart chakras and connect us to your healing energy. I thank you. Ask for messages of truth, clarity, healing, confirmation, encouragement, or enlightenment. And I thank you for this opportunity, Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, ancestors, for your guidance. Amen. Venetian, thank you. All right, let's see. What is the energy of the collective that you want to talk about today, Spirit? Yeah, healthy, regret, overcoming regret. Okay? Not sitting in regret, not sitting in obsessive energy of the past regret, past mistakes, past pain, past fear. Spirit wants us to purge those energies. If you're struggling and you're going through situations in your life, you know, if you're not being punished, these situations aren't here to punish you. They're not here because, you know, you deserve to be rejected or you know, anything like that. It's here so you can clean it up, so you can face it boldly and have spiritual eyes that see. Not to sit in regret, but to have a healthy understanding of regret, okay? You cannot change your past. You can only change what you can do in this moment, right now. That's what regret says. I know that I cannot change the past, so why live in the past? It's time for us to be healthier, honor the physical vessels that enshrines our soul. That speaks of your physical mind, your physical mind too, I'm hearing, okay? Your emotions, a healthy, just health all around, spiritual health, okay? So we still have part of the collective who are struggling with past regret, living in the past. You know, being obsessed with things that you cannot control. You know, maybe beating yourself up for past mistakes. Spirit saying, let's let it go. Let it go, baby, is what I'm hearing. We're going to talk about this. Okay, let's talk about, add some more energy to this reading, please, Spirit. Yeah, it's time to rise from the ashes, the golden phoenix. Something that you thought finished will burst back into your life. So the past is here, right? You're dealing with the past, but you're meant to rise above it, not sit in the regret of it all and the obsession of it all. We're meant to rise above. Something that you thought was lost, maybe something you've been sitting in regret about, is going to come back around. But not until you're ready. Not until your mind is ready. Your heart has been purified and cleared and healed. These things that you're in regret about your past, the things that you want the most, God knows what's in your heart and what you want the most. And if it's for your highest good, it will return, but not until you've been purified and made whole, I'm hearing. Not until you're ready to bring whatever this is back in. Let's see what this is. Okay, you can, Spirit saying you can choose to heal or you can choose to sit in your regrets. You can choose to sit in your pain, your rejection, your obsession. You can choose what you want to do. Okay, you can choose to sit in regret or you can choose to take the high road and focus on self and heal. And you know, realize that there's nothing to regret because you can, first of all, you can't go back and change the past. You can change what you do with that information from the past in today's moment, like right now, and you can make wiser choices or gain healing perspectives, things like that. But you can't go back and change past, whether it's your actions or another's actions. So why hold yourself there? Let yourself flow. Let yourself move forward with time. Because when you live in past regret, you live in that time. You hold yourself stagnant. It's like you're pushing the pause button on your own flow of your soul's development. So Spirit wants you to choose wisely on what you do when you're in these painful cycles, right? It's not easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, then everybody would just clip right on through the stuff, you know? But anyways, let's just see. we're going to see how to deal with it in a minute. But I want to see who I'm talking to specifically. What are you regretting? Spirit, what can I look at here? Let's see what you're regretting. Let me just go to tarot for a minute and get a little story out. So only take what resonates. This isn't everybody, okay? This is for, you know, certain part of the collective who are still healing. I mean, we're all still healing, but this part of the collective, I feel like you guys have really, really been battling mental conflict is what I'm getting here. Like you've been going through some mental conflict and just reliving your past and beating yourself up over the things that you wish you would have done different or could have done different. But, you know, you know, it's like Spirit wants you to step outside of that regret, step outside of that condemnation. Okay. What are they regretting? Whoever this is for, what do you regret the most? A betrayal, either one that betrayed you in love or you betrayed them in love. So past betrayals when it came to love offers. Okay, there's a lot of regret. Maybe you regret allowing someone to misuse you, or you regret misusing another. You can't, you know, everyone makes mistakes in life. You can't hold yourself to that mistake forever, or you will just continually stay in that time frame. You will continually stay in that energy. You will grow stagnant and you will block the lesson. I was telling a friend, or Spirit was telling a friend earlier, you know, we all go through life. Life is a lesson, right? You go through your life lessons, you go through your relationship issues, and you overcome, and you gain healing and higher perspective, right? That's the whole point. But when you grow stagnant and live in the past, live in regrets, you're going through the lessons of life. But when it comes time for the test, you're putting your head in the sand and you're just so focused on your own pain, your own obsession, possibly, your own need to control, your own regrets, that you forget to take the test, or you bypass taking the test. So you don't apply what you've been learning. It's like you sit in this energy of condemnation, of pain, of regret, of feeling like a victim. And so you get to go through that cycle again. You will continue to go through those cycles energetically. It could be a new face, but the same energy over and over until you take the test. And the test is where you get the clarity of, okay, well, this is my part as to why this keeps coming back into my life. Like, this is my way of thinking, or the way I've been moving in this way, or the way I've been perceiving that. It's like you have to put the puzzle pieces together of the lessons to find the key, which is the answer to the test. And once you find that key, you move on. But you have to allow yourself to gain a higher perspective. You have to allow yourself to feel what you feel. Your pain is valid. Your unhealed wounds are valid. You can feel those things. You should feel those things. But you got to face them head on, right? So that you can move forward past regret. So you can be the phoenix rising from the ashes. So you can be a healthier soul. Mind, body, and soul, right? We've all betrayed one another at times in our lives, whether it's been small betrayals or big betrayals. That's the whole point of these contracts we even get in the first place. We're here to trigger one another. On the other side, it's all love. Doesn't matter. The one who betrays you the worst sometimes is the one that loves you the most on the other side, you know? I mean, betrayal is, it's part of the textbook, right? The textbook of life, the textbook of your soul growth. Betrayal is just part of that. Regret is part of that. Pain is part of it, because they're catalysts, they're triggers, they're teachers. But if you just sit in that experience, feeling like woe is me, feeling condemned, feeling obsessed, trying to control, then you're going to just continue to play out that cycle. Don't you want to set yourself free? Step up out of that cycle and say, you know what, I get it. I know we all do, right? It's time to rise. It's time to rise like the phoenix into higher understanding of relationship, higher understanding of your own self, the workings of your mind, the workings of your emotions, the workings of your triggers and your own reactions, and maybe not obsess so much about another. Because when we obsess about another, we're so worried about obsessing about another, we forget about having to obsess about self, right? You're using all that energy to obsess about a situation outside of yourself that you cannot even control, because you can't control another. But what you can have power over is yourself. So Spirit wants you to shift that energy from the outside, quit pouring it outside onto something or someone that you can't control, and focus it within yourself on something that you can take responsibility for, which is the way you see things, the way you think about things, the way you let yourself feel or don't feel about things. I mean, me personally, for a long time, I went through a lot of painful cycles, and I thought it was strong just to keep pushing through. You know, don't let me feel it for too long, because it might slow me down, or it might make me feel weak, and I can't be weak. I got to survive life. But that's not the truth. That's not the way. Because all those things I kept burying for years, they eventually came up at the worst time and reared their ugly head, and I had to face those monsters. Because I kept ignoring them, and they just grew bigger. Until I had no choice but to face them. All those buried emotions. All those moments where I just pushed through and tried to put my head in the sand and ignore the pain of situations. Ignore my insight about situations. Right? Ignore my wants, my needs, my desires. Because I had a fear of loss. A fear of rejection. Wanting to people please. Even if something didn't agree with me. Just so I didn't lose a person, place, or thing. Like, I've been there. But that takes away from you, is what I've learned. It takes your power away from you, and it keeps you in a perpetual cycle of having to repeat those energies that you've been ignoring until they just build up until one tremendous ugly ass monster, like we'll call it the fear monster, and then you got to face that fear monster regardless. It's easier if you just face it head on. But human nature, we're that flight or fight. We're the survivors. So we tend to want to just survive and ignore and keep moving through. We don't like to touch those things that hurt within. We don't like to have to face our own parts of things. See our own misinformed self sometimes. Misguided self sometimes. It's okay. You're not perfect. You're not meant to be perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about being in power in the moment of right now. Your right now moment. What you can have responsibility over. What you can control in this moment. Even though Spirit says surrender and flow. But so we'll call it responsibility, not control. But you can't control the past, but you can take responsibility in the now. You can't control the future. But how you take responsibility in the now will dictate your future. So if you want to not take responsibility, if you want to not look at the healing, if you want to not face your regrets or your pains, if you don't want to be responsible for your own spiritual health, then you'll continue to face these cycles that are just going to cause more regret, until that's a big ugly monster that you can't ignore, and then it's going to slap you in the face and say, face me. And then you're going to face it, and you will overcome it. But it's going to be a lot more intense. It's going to feel a lot darker than if you would have just faced it in the moment. Or right now when Spirit's calling to you to face it. Okay? But it's got to do with betrayal. Whether it's you betraying another or another betraying you. And the way that you offer love due to that. Or the way that you receive love due to past betrayals. Are you putting yourself aside? And accepting things that you know, aren't for your personal highest good because you don't want to be alone? Are you accepting, you know, codependency or narcissistic behavior in your life, whether it's yours or another's, out of fear of loneliness, fear of losing something that you think is for you, when God's saying if you'll just be in the flow and surrender when something isn't in alignment with your highest good, then you will be You will be led and guided to what is your highest good, because you do not perceive your own best interest, but Spirit does. That's the point of being guided. It's time for us to relinquish control, relinquish the need to know everything all the time, relinquish the need to have it all figured out, and trust. Trust in your life, trust in your higher self, trust in your guidance, trust that everything that you go through is for a higher purpose, and that there's always a perspective to gain. There's always something to learn. No matter what it is, there's always something, whether it's a heart truth or a mind truth or an empowering truth, there's always something to gain through every situation if you open your eyes and have eyes that are willing to see. Or you can stick your head in the sand, you can ignore the pain, you can ignore the offense, you can ignore the hurt, you can ignore that you're obsessed, or that you're codependent, or that you're afraid to be alone. You can ignore it all until Spirit gets tired of you ignoring it, and then you're going to have to face that monster. And it's a fear monster. It all stems from fear. It's fear or it's love, right? Look what's on the bottom. It's time to heal, Spirit's saying. It's time to heal. It's time to heal from betrayal and just heal from the way we give and accept love based out of betrayal, based out of trying to protect ourselves or run away from our feelings and ownership of things. Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull from the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. This isn't going to be very long. This is a short message. I'll do a relationship reading later, you guys. But this is going to be like just a little short. I don't know. Take it if it resonates for you. If you think this ain't you, then this ain't you, okay? If you're, only take what resonates. And if you do resonate with this, or this could be energy that you've already been made aware of, collective, share your story in the comment section for the ones who need the encouragement. We're here to encourage one another. We're here to share our experience. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We've all faced regret. We've all needed to get healthy in one way or another. You might have some truth that you can put in the comments that will help somebody who does need this video put their pieces together to acquire their key, to pass their test. Whether you think it's big or small, you don't know how it's going to affect another. That's why you're given a voice. Use your voice. Use your lessons to encourage and help each other. Okay? You don't got to know all the answers. You don't got to be perfect. Okay? It's not about that. It's about being open to receiving, willing to flow and surrender, and trusting by faith that love is the fabric of the universe. Love, protection, healing. We serve a just universe, a just God. Not an unjust universe, not an unjust God. You were created for a reason. Remember that. Okay, here it is. I forgive myself for attempting to solve other people's problems before I solve my own. I choose to believe that when I give myself permission to prioritize myself, I invite others to prioritize themselves also. This is why that betrayal energy comes in, especially for our empathic collective who are the fixers. I've been there, done that. Okay? Comes a point where you realize you can't stick it around in a situation that's not for your highest good just because you're waiting for someone to you want to fix someone or fix a relationship or fix this. Okay, it's not about fixing something. It's about knowing how to release something when it's not in alignment, and not trying to hold yourself in a situation to continue to just pour in. It's about when things. It's about knowing how to read the signs and the synchronicities and knowing what the cues mean as far as when to release, what needs to be released, how to perceive, how to heal. And not making yourself wholly responsible for another. I forgive myself for taking on more than was ever meant to be mine. I choose to believe that when I accept all possible versions of myself, I discover a wholeness that invites others to embody more of what they need for themselves as well. It's about releasing control. And And allowing each person, we all have our own path to go, right? Letting go and healing from these ultimate betrayals that we faced. Setting boundaries against the energies that have betrayed us, but not in a way where we're closed off and we're, you know, not in that energy of resent and oh, I got to protect myself. But and it's just here to bring you an awareness that it's time to see and move forward. It's time to release. It's time to stop pouring energy into certain people, places, or things. That's why these betrayals happen. They're cues to signal you to make a move, to make a change, to have a higher understanding, things like that, right? Look, this is the gist of it all. It says, I forgive myself for resisting my natural desire to experience connection and intimacy. I choose to believe that others serve as my mirrors, and it is through playful acknowledgement of what I see in them that I may better see and know myself. So it's not about another, it's about self. It's not about obsessing and trying to control situations or others or their healing path or anything like that. What are you seeing in the situation about self? It should always be about what you see about self. What is the experience showing you about your thoughts, about your feelings, about the things you are or are not accepting, about how you're showing up or not showing up? Right? Anyways, what do you want to say about this moving forward, Spirit? What's it going to look like moving forward? Love is strange. Okay, we got love is strange. And it's time for a treat. You've been holding on way too tight. Okay? It's time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. And then you've got release your power. Follow your guidance to wherever it's going to lead you. Okay? What else, Spirit? Artemis. I love Artemis. Anyways, Artemis of the forest. Now you are independent and free. It's about you gaining your independence and your freedom from attachment. Okay? From codependent energies. From lower vibrational energies of that. We call it the devil energy. It's these devilish contracts, these karmic contracts that hold you stagnant, that hold you bound to repetitive patterns. Codependent energy, right? Spirit saying we're free. We're free when we can gain our independence from that betrayal energy. We can continue to move forward and love one another wherever each one of us is, no matter the betrayal or not. Okay, it's about loving and forgiving and just setting up your strong boundaries for your own self-love, for your own highest good and what's best for you. But having a higher perspective as we do that, right? Not trying to fix everyone else, not thinking that we need to hold ourselves to a toxic situation because it needs to be fixed. Maybe it doesn't need to be fixed at all, and it's just that your energies aren't matching anymore. So if you go in a new direction and they go in a new direction, then you're both going to thrive. But if you try to hold yourself together and fix it and be in control because you don't want to face regret of some sort of perceived failure, then you're going to hold each other back and you're going to continue to hurt one another and betray one another. What if that's the perspective on some of this stuff, right? Whether it's a lover, a family member, a job, okay, whatever. It doesn't have to just be lovers, right? But think of relationship in that way. You know, it's not about fixing another. It's about an awareness of self. It's about allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to come out of living in the past, regret, trying to control and fix and avoid things by planning 20 steps ahead and putting your guard up and this and that. Just live in your present moment and live by joy, live by faith, live in bliss. Live in that you are loved, you are perfect, you are deserving. Your past does not define you. It's your training ground. But it's not a definition of who you are. Your mistakes don't define who you are. They help you grow. They mold you. There's no mistakes. There's only opportunities of growth and awareness. You can take the opportunity or you can ignore it and feel like it's a mistake. It's up to you, okay? But let's get some soul homework for this part of the collective, okay? Does my life have room for more pleasure and play? Spirit wants you to have more fun. I'm learning this lesson myself, right? It's okay to have fun and allow yourself to enjoy life. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. And if it's not bringing you pleasure, joy, and bliss anymore, then let it go before you do face the betrayal of the situation. Because you'll get the signs first, right? You'll start feeling like you're not where you need to be. You'll be overcritical of your partner or your job or whatever it is, and you'll dread it, and you'll start nitpicking it and things like that. That's a sign that it's time to move. To let yourself be free and let another be free so that you can thrive where Spirit's taking you next. Okay? Make room for pleasure. Make room for growth. Make room for play. Okay? But it says, in what areas are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of yourself? I'm working on that. I hope y'all are too, Soul Tribe, because it's easier said than done, I know. Especially after you've been through betrayal and pain and you've lived in a life of regret from the past and held yourself there, and you're breaking free finally, right? Like, it's a new experience, it's a new existence, but it's beautiful, and it's you rising from the ashes like the phoenix. So just flow with it and allow it to be open. Allow yourself to be open to life, okay? Here's the soul homework. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. So let go of the seriousness of life right now and just be open to receiving, flowing, okay? Quit criticizing yourself for your past, I'm hearing Spirit saying. Love is strange, and all things are love, even the ones that you've been in this betrayal cycle with. The root of the soul between your connection is love, no matter what. Even if it don't feel like that in this realm or look like that right now, the soul self, the root, the seed is love, or you wouldn't have been in connection, okay? So let it be. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet with a question mark? Nothing's impossible, Spirit wants me to say. Maybe raise your expectations of what you can accomplish, because you can accomplish anything that you put your whole mind to, your wholeness to, your healed wholeness to, I'm hearing. Okay? It says the expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. When we then, okay, so that's, okay, when the, blah, 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 hold on. The expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with the relationship when they are not met. This is expectations we put on others. Raise your expectations of self and maybe take the expectations off of others. What you expect others to be, show up as, look like, give you, things like that. And be responsible with the expectations of self. Because if you place that on another, then you will always be disappointed, okay? It says, we then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Wow. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for our soul, and it is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. I channeled that. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Follow your passions, Spirit's saying, and you know, be willing to look, be willing to feel, be willing to forgive, be willing to take the test, okay? And it's time for you to, it says, am I ready to let go of this buried shame? So guilt, regret, whatever it is, pain. Let's read that one. The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. This is basically the whole lesson we just talked about, these last two cards. I love you, Spirit. Okay, let me read that again. Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, healed, and felt. I'm going to add that part. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. My soul's truth is blank. What is your soul's truth? I can tell you what some of it is. Your soul's truth is you're whole, you're beautiful, you're love, you're genius, you're passionate, you're made in God's image, you're powerful, you're magical, you're smart, you shine, baby. Allow yourself to be all those beautiful things. That is your soul's truth. Your soul's truth is that you come from creation. You are creation and you are a creator. And that's powerful. Okay, don't believe the lies from your experience, from these lessons that you've gone through over and over because you've been afraid to take the test. You've been afraid to use your key. Use the key. Take the test. And find your truth. Know your truth. Because it's in there. You just gotta let it come out. And take your head out of the sand of regret of the past and feel it. Face that fear monster. Because he's gonna be there. You can't hide from him forever. Him or her. That fear monster is just gonna keep growing the more you feed it. But you will have to face it. We all do. It's just part of it. It's part of growing up, soul-wise, okay? It's just part of it. And there's nothing to be afraid of. Trust. Trust in the universe. Trust in God. Trust in your protection. Trust that you are eternal. And the rest of it, the rest of anything, if it doesn't support the fact that you are eternal, you are love, you are peace, you are light, you are creation, then it's an illusion. It's a lie. It's an illusion. It's not the soul's truth. Okay? Anyway, Soul Tribe, I love you so very much. Sending you guys healing love. I'm not, you're not alone. I've been here, done this. I'm in the process. I've recently learned this lesson about letting go of past regret and finding healthier ways to perceive. But it's a process. So just know you're not alone. Wherever you're at on the journey. We all, have different parts of the journey. We all have to go down the journey. We are all on a journey. Okay? But, where we're at different times is okay. We don't all have to be in the same place at the same time. Right? There's a reason that it happens that way. Spirits, actually, before I go, I know this is long, but I'm actually being drawn to read out of the Rebel deck for you guys. So we're going to pull one more card, and I'm going to read out the book, and then I'm really going to go. Because I don't know. When Spirit says do it, I have to do it. So, all right, Spirit, they have a message for us to tie this all together, I'm hearing. All right, Spirit, what can we read to tie this all together? What do you want me to read for my beautiful collective? To tie this together. Okay, what do we got? Focus on the light. I love it. And that's a 10, which is all about completions, okay? 37 speaks about completions. And look, it's a sunflower. Sunflowers are my favorite. I love sunflowers. And look, she's just surrendering. She's looking up. She's focusing on the light. She's surrendering. okay, to growth, to the allowance for this sunflower to grow within her soul, I'm hearing. But it takes, you know, takes watering, takes digging for that light. It's not easy, but it's not supposed to be, babe, okay? You're supported and you're loved, no matter what pain and regret and all that fear monster you're having to face. Know that you're supported every step of the way. You are loved, you are protected, you are cherished, you are brave, you are courageous. Even if you don't see it, Spirit's there showing this to you. They see it, okay? They see it in you. They know your soul's truth. They know your soul's truth, and they're here to help you remember your soul's truth. So here we go. Here's how we're going to tie it all in. A tremendous force of light is gathering around you. It is attracted to the purity of your intention to create from your heart. As your intention grows, so does the light. As the light grows, so does your intention. Magic wants to happen for you now. The synchronicity, perfect timing, opportunities, and information that are needed will seem to be drawn right into your door. You may start to feel as if you cannot walk outside without stumbling into something helpful, wonderful, and inspiring. You might be startled as this interplay of light with your heart evokes many new successes and attracts an abundance of opportunities your way. You may need to adjust as the field of light grows stronger and its effect becomes more palpable. It may bring rather dramatic improvements into your world. You may be uncomfortable or feel out of your depth with these changes. This would be understandable, but it would be a shame for you to hold on to that resistance for anything more than a brief moment. Any resistance or fear will inhibit the continuing free flow of the light so that it can manifest its beauty through you in the physical world where it is needed. It is best to stay focused on your pure heart and intentions. Just allow all else to happen of its own accord without making it mean anything too personal. Simply let it be the workings of the great light of love flowing through a pure heart, which is a wholeness. That wholeness Spirit was talking about is that pureness, okay? So allow it to flow through a pure heart and touching the world. Even if the light that is drawn to you and flows through you has some dazzling effects, you don't have to get caught up in it. Doing so might start you worrying that you are unworthy or that you are unable to keep up. This worry will constrict possibilities rather than allowing the free flow of the light. You have permission simply to be appreciative of the light and to enjoy it as you continue to focus on what really matters, the pure intention of your heart and your desire to create. If you are not sure what this means or how it would look on a practical level, consider this example. A service-oriented business becomes very successful financially and gains considerable commercial power, which can be used to help promote its message or assist other organizations in gaining exposure to the public. Of course, that power could be used in less pure ways, such as boosting personal ego rather than promoting the agendas of the heart. Power games and politics might start erupting as the people grab for their share, and suddenly the purity of the project begins to crumble. Y'all, I've been struggling with that, man. Wow, I got goosebumps. Sometimes success can be like a powerful mirror and a shining searchlight as it shows us what already exists within someone or a group of people. Under the spotlight of success, it is more intense, amplified, and obvious. This can give us an opportunity to sow the seeds of our own destruction, or to work on what arises from a heart-centered perspective to create a firmer foundation that supports even greater attainment. How would that work in this example? By returning attention to the heart of why the business was started in the first place, it is wise to maintain focus on the pure, original motivation for the work, rather than shifting course to focus on money or influence. Okay, I got you, Spirit. That makes sense, y'all, for sure. Wow. The latter are not bad per se, but they are a rather different vibration focused on personal gain rather than heart-centered contribution. When focus shifts from the heart, the underlying energy of any creative project can become contaminated with lower vibrational forces such as fear, which is behind greed, for example. If this is not rectified, that business or creative project will begin to change. It will lose the luster of its original purpose that made it so attractive and magnetic to the light. Its continued ability to grow as a light in the world is diminished. It may end up becoming just another corporate machine, successful according to more conventional measures or not. The genuine heart-centered success that creates a win-win field of energy for all involved can only be attained, nurtured, and expanded when those creating the project or business remain focused on the purity of their own original intentions. Wow, I feel like this is coming up because what I channeled in the very beginning of this video, what I was talking to you guys about healing and spirit. That just hit me. I'm like, why are you talking about this, Spirit? But this makes sense now, okay? So it's all about their original intentions. My original intentions is to be a healer. To look at the things and speak about how to overcome and heal and just experience that I know as Spirit gives me. It may not be what you always want to hear, Soul Tribe, but it's what Spirit needs you to hear. I can't... Anyways. It says, this oracle brings an assurance of success of the highest order, not just commercially, but from the heart. It will manifest as a highly valuable offering to the world. This applies to a project endeavor or organization in which you are involved. Your heart will help you realize which group or project it applies to. It may be more than one. However, you must stay focused. Enjoy the glittering lights of success, but don't be distracted by them. Stay on point with what you want to create and why. Stay true to yourself. This oracle brings another message. Don't be distracted by other paths around you at this time, as you are too close to succeeding on the one that you are on now. Diluting your energies in the pursuit of too much will slow down your success, and the world needs your light to shine sooner rather than later. In time, you may diversify and explore other ways to express yourself, but for now, build what you are working on and know that success is coming swiftly. Wow. All right, collective, take it how it resonates. Only take this message, how it resonates for you. You can accept it or not. I love you guys. Whatever Spirit brings to me, I just offer to you freely, without judgment, just with love, a place of love, okay? No matter where you're at on the journey, and like Spirit was saying earlier, if you've already gotten insight around what we talked about today, share in the comments what you can for the rest of us. We're here to share with each other, love each other, grow each other, support each other, not ostracize one another, okay? Not blame each other, not hold each other in unrealistic expectations. It's not even about any of that. It's about self, always about self, okay? And being our most healthiest self, showing up in the most responsible way we can by showing up in a healthier self, okay? I love you guys. Bye.